Hello everyone and welcome. There we go. How is everyone doing? Alright, I kind of moved into my store for tonight, so I may not see everybody's messages. However, I will try and check everything out and answer any questions that anybody has. I didn't have, hey Tiff, I did grandchildren for 3 days last week and was busy making this display. So it was a crazy time. So I thought what I'd do, since I took it apart and brought it home today, I thought I would take the time to show everybody exactly what I did. Only 2 of the balloons broke, so we are in good shape. So I want to show you, it's so convenient when you have a husband that can see your vision. But what I had to do, I had him create this little base with this dowel rod. Then I had him create this platform with a hole here for another dowel. We actually stacked a couple pieces of wood on top of each other. Then he put this groove in the wood for me here because, and I'll show you, this is what I used for part of the display. Now, these were actually just 2 wired boxes. By wired, I mean it was actually a display at Sears, and there's wire throughout and plastic on the sides, like a heavy duty plastic. So what I did was I covered them with this real nice felt that has glitter in it, and then I went and put these little, this is kind of like, they use them for bouquets. I know I have some, and in the comments or in the description, it's all there. I had some that I saved that I put off to the side so I would be able to show you what it looked like. Yeah, here it is. All right. This is how it comes. And they use this when making floral arrangements. They actually like put the flowers in the middle and have all this going around with really decorative tissue paper. So I took it and turned it upside down. I actually sewed wired ribbon to it. Now there is still wire in it, but on the ends I trimmed the wire because I didn't want anything coming in contact that was sharp with the balloons. So this is actually a piece that I can take off. It comes right off, okay? And I did that because I hope to use this display for other occasions. And by removing the skirt, I can create a whole new skirt that'll go on top of it. Now, I actually have 2 of those boxes, wired boxes, and I took off the bottom. There was like a plastic bottom on them that I cut off. And then I zip tied both of them together to create my base here. And it sits inside that groove. Hi, Nanny Dot. I don't have my computers close at hand, so I have to kind of run back and forth between the 2 computers. All right, then I had them create a lid for me for this so I can stack stuff on top of here. Now, I knew I was going to need an area in the back to kind of put stuff in, so I actually took 3 circle styrofoam bases from the Dollar Tree, stacked them on top of each other, glued them, and then covered it with this real pretty ribbon. So that went up here. Then I didn't want them to see the top of the styrofoam, so I had this scrunchie left over from the Mother's Day bouquets, and I actually just stuck that right in there to kind of cover it up. looked good. It was beautiful, Tiff. They absolutely loved it and are giving me some really nice reviews. So on top of that, I went ahead and I put this basket up here. Now, the person who the shower was for, they actually took the, I just want to make sure I'm in range here. They actually took the baby girl out of here and took it home. And I told them, feel free to do that. Now, in this bucket, I had gotten these balloons from Amazon. They were 5-inch clear bubble balloons. So I made those into bubbles. I had more bubbles in here. I actually even had a few Christmas balls with glitter on them, and I added them to it. And then I took the baby, and the baby was on a balloon stick and went right in the middle of this. I think my display is going to be too big here. I might have to move it to the floor. Hey, Joanne, how are you? I think I'm going to have to move this to the floor, people. Because this went in here, too. I'm going to have to move it to the floor. I am so sorry. I thought this was going to work. So what we'll do is, let's just move this back. Because so many of you asked me how I did this. And I know there's a lot of people that have been watching some of my balloon videos. So I kind of felt the need to show everybody. So that was this part, okay? Then in the middle, please excuse my back. Then in the middle, this is called a transparent balloon box. And they use this for a lot of things. Now, where is my... See, I had everything reachable from there. And now I don't want to keep walking in front of the camera. I'm sorry. Then I had this Tupperware base. It's from a cake. And I put that in the middle. And then I put my balloon box on top of that. It just gave it a little height. Now in there, I scattered a bunch of smaller balloons that match the ones that go in this. Now this too is one of those plastic boxes just covered with a piece of wired ribbon attached to it. And then this went in here. Okay, so that sat on the floor there. Now, this is where my, this is actually a roll from inside the 20-inch mesh, or 21-inch mesh, because I needed something just a little bigger than the dowel that would actually go into the bottom of this. This is a white pool noodle that I got off of Amazon. I've used those a lot in my crafts. So that just went into that. I was able to take this, wrap a sheet around it, and carry it to the venue. It sat in my back seat real nice, took up the whole back seat. So I'm going to show you how to make these clusters, but what I wanted to show you first was how this all was set up. I went with what I had because I was only given 4 days notice. Now what I've learned from this experience, hey, hello Holly, how are you? Thanks for joining us. All right, so I needed something to attach the pool noodle to. So here was another piece. This is actually PVC pipe that I actually covered with the noodle. I actually have another piece that went there because I was working off of what I had. All right. So that went in the bottom of the base. And if you watched from the beginning, I showed this base that I had my husband make. I ran short of a little piece here to cover that, so I just used ribbon. And then this connected to here. Okay, and then I had just one helium balloon from here that was full of gold dots. So the baby one here, then these two, and this was too plain for me, so I added some ribbon to it. So this went here. So that kind of covered up here. And then I took this. Now I added to these, which this was the one that went with that one. I added netting to this just to kind of soften the balloon stick that I had these on. Just to kind of soften it a little. Because this was for a little baby girl. And there's a hole right here. Now I had to put an extension on this because see how this flops back? So I had to put an extension to make it higher. And then what I did was I actually took this and tied it to the one in front. Now, like I said, there was, if you go on my Facebook page, there was a video. I think I even put a short on YouTube so you can visually see it all together. I even had little beads in the bubbles, and we'll just stick that in there. I had some over the side, and then I had the little rubber ducky on there, and then I had some of these in here just to kind of look like it was water spraying out. Let's fix this. This is bothering me. And then I had more balloons in that base there, the little box base that this fit into. I did all my balloons the night before. And then what I did was, and I don't know if I showed it to you or not, I actually took the bunches and I used, these are what are called 260 balloons. And I took a 260 balloon, I grabbed it from one of the inside balloons, and then I tied it to the pool noodle. And what I'll do is I'll take this apart so you can see the back. See the ties? Now, pool noodles are readily available right now. So, and they're inexpensive now. So I would suggest, if you're going to do anything like this, grab some pool noodles to keep it handy. I didn't have to put anything through there. I just have something sturdy at the end here and at the end there. Now it looks a little open right now. I actually had 2 balloons that broke, but this was so easy to transport. Okay. And I have to tell you, the Mylar balloons really hold their air. And I'll show you what I mean by that. When it was Valentine's Day, I had a bunch of balloons in the shop for Valentine's Day. This one has been inflated since Valentine's Day. It will not deflate. So the Mylar balloons are a way to go to add some visual pop. But these definitely, they do better. You don't want to use helium. Number one, helium is really expensive. Helium balloons do not last. They only last for like 2 to 3 days and then they're down. Okay? These, I'm going to leave this up and I'm going to see how long it lasts. Like I said, it looks like it's full of holes right now, but it looked better at the time. And then what I did was I took extra balloons with me to fill in any gaps. and I use the little glue dots, and then I just put them wherever I saw a gap. And the reason I had to do that, I tell my customers I need at least 2 weeks notice to do a display. I was only given 4 days notice, so I had to work with what I had on hand. Some of the colors I didn't have enough of, so that's why there were some gaps. I'm just making sure I see any questions. Hello. Hi, Monica. How are you? So I'm just giving you tips on what I learned doing my first one. I was scared to death, but I thought, you know what? These are just balloons. What's the worst that could happen? They could all pop and it would turn out to be a flop, and then I'd know moving forward. Now, a few of the things I wrote down because I wanted to make sure I shared this with you. Okay, so I used latex balloons, and I used mylar balloons, and I used the 260s, which are the long ones. What I've also learned, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, the ones down at the bottom, the pink down at the bottom, she was thrilled with the color. I was not. There are certain balloons that are nicer. They don't lose their color. Those balloons would be the Qualatex and the Tuftex. And I think there's one called Simtex too, and Anagram balloons. They seem to hold their color really well. Okay? Now, what else do I want to make sure I told you? Oh, if you have any wire ribbon that you're using, pull some of that wire out and snip it so it's further back and encased with the threading so it doesn't stick one of your balloons. Now, I also learned that I wasn't twisting these enough, and that's why I ended up with gaps. So, hence, that's why I took extra balloons with me and I kind of put them in different places. And see, your cheap balloons are going to look funny on the end. Your good balloons, you're not going to see that like nipple on the end. They have better coloring. The owner, the woman that hired me, she had some balloons that she thought if you just filled them with air, they would rise, and they didn't. So we scattered them throughout the display on the floor, and that worked really good. Let me see if there was anything else I want to make sure I told you. Okay, I used 12-inch balloons, 7-inch balloons, and 5-inch balloons. The 5-inch balloons are the bubbles. And they were some of the different colors that I scattered throughout the display. I know this looks pitiful. It's 3 days, 4 days after. So you have to use your imagination here. But I know you wanted to know how to put it together, so I wanted to be able to show that. When you're blowing up your balloons, you're going to blow them up real far, but then you're going to let the air out. And when you're letting the air out, you're going to press down here because that's going to make the balloon round. So that's what you wanted. So some of them didn't turn out as round as I would have liked them to, but they were round. Now, what I also brought with me were some, because I want to show you how to do a grouping. So I had some bigger ones here. These, believe it or not, Walmart is not a bad place to buy balloons. They have a good quality balloon. Now these are the metallic ones, and they can get kind of funky after a while. There is a balloon spray that you could spray these with, but I had these blown up probably about 2 months now. They're still holding their air. So I would recommend the Walmart balloons in a pinch. Okay. Now, what I had to do was, I have an electric air pump, so I would blow these up, then I would blow another one up. I would knot them. First, before you knot them, after you blow them up, you want to press them against your body. Can you guys see what I'm doing? Yeah, okay. So you want to press them against your body because that's going to make them round enough for you. Then you're going to take the two that you've already tied and you're going to tie them together. Now these may pop because these have been blown up for 2 months. Okay. Okay. So this is a Walmart balloon. Not bad. Then what I did was, I should have moved this back. I thought it would work on top of the table, but I have low ceilings in here, so I'm sorry. All right, then you're going to take a smaller balloon and a larger balloon. You're going to blow them up, let a little air out, press them against your body, and then you're going to tie them together. Now again, one of these might break because they're very old, but I thought this would be a great way to show you how to make a cluster, because it's clusters that you need to fill your thing with. Now, what I did when I put these clusters together, I didn't twist them enough. The more that you twist them together, and by twisting, you're just going to keep wrapping one around the others. And you want to do it at least 3 or 4 times because that's going to get the balloons closer, so you're not going to have those gaps. So we've got 2 more we're going to add to this cluster. Another big one and a small one. So again, pretend I blew it up. Now I'm letting a little air out because I'm pushing it against my body. And then I'm twisting them together and knotting 2 of them together. And by knotting, I mean you're gonna turn around and you're just going to tie them together like you tied the balloon closed. But you're just using the 2 balloon ends to do it. Okay? Then you're going to take this, and again, and it doesn't matter if you use one of the big ones or if you use the little one. I'm just using the little one at this time, and it's probably going to fight me because these are older balloons. So I'm waiting to see if one of them pops on me. I hope not, because I really want to show you this. Come on now. All right. So I'm going to use this one to wrap around. And I'm going to twist it around the purple one several times. Okay? That's a cluster. You don't have to use all the same size. I think it gives it more dimension when you're using different sizes. Now, to put my cluster on here, what I would have done was wrap this around a few times, pulled it out the back, okay, and then tied it to the noodle. So that's how I got my clusters on there. And actually I did what I could with the colors I had, and I tried to do at least 2 clusters. When you're doing a cluster like this, you can count on about 18 inches. Between 12 and 18 inches. So when you have your noodle, or however you're putting it on, I wouldn't have even had to use a noodle. I just didn't want to transport a bunch of balloons in a bag. So that's why I tied them to the noodle, because for me, it was easy to go in, pop this end into the base, pop that end into the base. You don't even need a noodle. You can actually do your clusters one right after the other all the way up. Just keep wrapping them together or using a 260 to tie them all together. And then like if you had a shelf or something behind, you could just take it up to the top and tie it up to the top. if you had gaps in here and you didn't have extra balloons, you would take a balloon and you would cover the bottom of some florals and you would stick the florals in there. But I chose just to take little balloons and just pop them in wherever I needed to cover up a space. And I used my glue dots for that. Again, I'm just checking to make sure I'm not missing anybody's comments. Okay, let me put that down and I'll show you. All right. See, that can even sit and lean against something. But I wanted to go in with it in pieces and just put it together. I had hubby make me this base that we took and screwed the dowel to the top here. I colored that, I painted it. Then this is a plastic display box from Sears when they sold out. I covered it with felt, attached a ribbon to the top, and then just put this inside. And I actually had balloons in here to cover that up so you couldn't see it. And then because that dowel was a little bigger than, a little smaller than the pool noodle, I actually took a 21-inch inside roll from a roll of mesh, and I put that up into the pool noodle. And then I just pushed it down in there like that. And then, like I said, we have the transparent balloon box here, which says baby on the outside. A lot of people use them and they stack them up and it spells baby down the front. I could have done that. But again, I wasn't given enough notice. And so I only worked with what I had on hand. And I had that sitting on a little Tupperware base with just a bow on top. And then see, I can turn this around, Monica. There's a bottom on this too that piece of PVC pipe fit into that I covered with more of the white pool noodles. It's called Oodles of Noodles. I think they come 6 in a pack. You can buy them on Amazon. I put the link in there because white is not a color you can find. So, and like I said, he kept the one little girl balloon that was in the tub here that this tied to. And then I used the netting to soften the balloon stick that was in there. So basically, that's how you do a cluster. And then, like I said, you just tie that. Now, I could use this 260 balloon and tie it to another batch of balloons and just keep stacking on top of each other. I wouldn't even need this, but I wanted to make it easy setup, easy take down, and get out of there. So this fit, like I said, I just took a sheet, we laid this down on top, picked it up, transported it to the car. It was just so easy to do. Just looking to make sure I'm getting all the questions. Looks like it. Looks like we're okay. But I would definitely stick to those balloons I told you about. Walmart in a pinch. Party City, I tried to go there because they said they had the clear 5-inch. I got there, they didn't have them. They only carry mostly 12-inch balloons. That's it. Walmart carries only 12-inch balloons. I have bought some from Amazon. Unless they're Qualatex or Tuftex or Simtex, I wouldn't buy them. Qualatex will sell their balloons on Amazon. Definitely worth it because they keep their color. They don't end up with the nipple on the end when you deflate it some. they have a more solid color to them. And so I think balloons are not that expensive. So if you're going to create something that you want to stay up and look professional, I would definitely spend a tiny bit more and buy the better balloons. If you're in a pinch, the Walmart balloons work fine. They do tend to hold their color. These look a little funky because they're the metallic ones, and I should have sprayed them with the balloon spray, but I did not. So, and I just threw those colors in there because that's what I had on hand. So, the only reason I did this one was because I wanted to get the practice. What I've been looking at from all the videos I've been watching, people are pricing it out according to like $12 a foot. So if you have a foot of balloons, $12. I probably just broke even on this time around, but I feel like I gained confidence. I gained insight on what I did wrong, what I could do better. My displays that were made, I can use them over and over and over again. In the beginning, I was looking at this like a bouquet, you know, that they could take this. And then I thought, no, they wanted the design. That's what they were buying. But I told them that if there were any balloons they wanted, they could take them, and they took the girl balloon. So, does anybody have any questions? This gets turned around. There we go. And like I said, this was tied to the little girl balloon, so it stood up straight. And then this looked too funky here for me, so I took my one balloon that was clear, added the little gold discs inside, and I used helium to stick that up here. And that just topped it off. So it really did good. But the lady was really nice. She plans on leaving a Google, what's the word I'm looking for? Review. She plans on leaving a bunch of reviews on Facebook for me. I did finally tell her, I said, this is my first balloon design. I said, I've been doing the balloon bouquets, but this is the first going big. She was very understanding. She said it far exceeded her expectation. Because all I did was, I said, when she told me the colors and the theme, I took out the colors I had, I laid them on my floor, I laid out the extra balloon set, laid that out on the floor. I said, this is what I have, this is what I have to work with. So all she saw were the balloon colors. She didn't see any of this. So she was really, really happy. But the theme was a baby brewing. And had I had time, I could have added, which is kind of strange, but it's very popular right now. I could have added beer balloons, like a beer mug. But I told her, I said, usually I need 2 weeks notice, but I have colors on hand that I can work with. So this is what I came up with. In the midst of watching the grandkids 3 days in a row, working on this at night, explained to my husband what I needed. He made that base. He made this base that this fits on. He made the lid for the box. And I thought, okay, if you didn't have the wire basket box that I have, I did put in the description, there's a link to the, these things. They're a wired shelf. that you put together. And you could actually use these and just zip tie them all together and then stack one on top of the other. They have those little plastic corner pieces that you stick everything together. So you could definitely use those. They are a little bit bigger than what I have, but they would definitely work. And then I put the link in there to this stuff because I covered the boxes with this. I also put it in the smaller base, had it like this, sticking out the top, and then had extra balloons in there. So basically, that's how my display went together. I'm just checking to see if anybody has any questions. Hello, how is Miss Marcia? Oh, I'm so sorry. That's understandable. No problem. Thank you. Thank you, Monica. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I took the time to experience getting one under my belt. And the woman is awesome. She wants to do parties, so we're talking about collaborating. She does websites, so we're talking about making me a new website. So the connection was a great connection too. So yes, look at that. Look how colorful that would be. But I went with pink, beige, gold, and white were the colors that she was using. So I'm disappointed. I had bought this at the end of the season last year from Hobby Lobby, this ribbon, and I really could have used another roll, but it's what I had. So, and see, I even dressed that balloon up with some because it was just too plain. Because this set of baby balloons for a baby shower had a real pretty balloon that said princess on it. However, the Chinese company had it spelled prince without the double S on the end. So it was a pink prince, so I couldn't even use the balloon. So I had to adapt by putting an extra balloon there. So yeah, that was kind of funny. Thank you, Rachel. I so wish Rachel and I lived closer to each other because I could see her and I doing this because we bounce ideas off of each other, and I could really see us going far with this. So at least I have these that I'll be able to save. However, some of these balloons, like this one that I still have from Valentine's Day, like I said, these Mylar balloons, you can't kill them, all right? I have been holding on to this because it's like, okay, that would make a nice anniversary balloon for somebody, but the balloons seem to take up more room sometimes than the wreaths do. So, who knows? But at least I was able to show you how it all went together. That would, wouldn't it, Rachel? Oh, denim and diamonds. Oh my gosh, yes. I did take a lot of pictures. The customer even made me stand in front of the design and took a picture. Then I did a video. I actually put it on, I think, my Wreathery page. I have a reel with it to music. I took a picture of it the night before, and that picture didn't do it justice. The one at the venue did a better job of highlighting it. It was neat. And the ones I bought off of Amazon, the little 5-inch bubble balloons, they were all starting to pop the night I was blowing them up. So I had to improvise. And that's when I grabbed some Christmas balls that had sparkles on them, because they look cute against the ones that didn't pop. So I had ping pong balls as a backup, but I wanted balloons because I wanted them dribbling down the side of the basket. And I think this came from Dollar General. I have these in pink and I have them in a real pretty green. So they were going to be the grandkids' Easter baskets if I didn't have enough. There's no, wait a minute. Uh-oh, where'd your comment go, Marcia? No, I can't find it. It went off my screen. Darn it. There isn't, but I'll tell you. How soon do you need it? I know I can make you up something. Because I have some designs that are just sparkling diamonds swooped across and hanging down. I'm sure I can make something. I just can't get back to my comments. There we go. That is a good idea. Thank you, Monica. That's not a bad idea. But you know what? Dollar Tree sells that. It's not ribbon, but it's kind of, it's on netting and it has diamonds like going down it. It's glued to the backing. I think there's like 3 or 4 rows all meshed together. You could put that in there. If you need a sign, let me know. But yeah, that you could, I would definitely search diamonds and denim. Didn't we do something with denim? I thought we did. I'll have to look. I'll look and see what I have. But this ribbon came from Michael's and it was really marked down, and I had no idea that it was gold on one side and velvet with gold on the other. And that's what I used down to cover up the 3 pieces of styrofoam that were in a circle shape that I put the balloon sticks into. But I got that at like 70% off. That is so pretty. Oh, you are. You are. We had a really terrible storm come through here on Saturday. We did not get it as bad as the people around us, but the poor cemetery has trees everywhere. Our neighbors have several knocked down trees. We had a bunch of limbs. Power was out for several people. We were okay. So it was kind of like a straight wind is what they called it. It wasn't a tornado. It was a straight wind. And it did some real damage in town. So we were lucky. So I hope that helps anyone that's interested in doing this. I hope to do more as I get into it more. I want to do a couple of baby shower centerpieces. So I may do that on Wednesday to kind of show everybody how to do one of those. But I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it doesn't look too pitiful. Like I said, just 2 of the balloons popped and 1 out of the box. And we're missing our girl, but at least I could recreate it and show you how I put it together. And a lot of the stuff stacked in a tote and laundry basket. Just this went in a sheet. So it was easy breakdown, easy setup. Just glue a bunch of little balloons in to fill some spaces, and boom, we were done. And you could actually take ribbon or satin ribbon and cover the pool noodle to match any of your colors to disguise it. But the way I had it, you really couldn't see any of it. So, and this is really cool. They have this thing out there. It's called a thrasher. And it has all these little like knives on the end of it. So when you go in and you have to take down your display, and I'm talking the huge displays that people make, they take this thrasher and they just roll it right down the balloons, and it just pops a bunch of them all at once. And it's like, oh my gosh, that would be so cool. But then I'd feel like I was killing the balloons. And I think they're so beautiful, so I feel like I have to leave it up and enjoy it. Right? All right, if nobody has any questions, I think we're good. I appreciate the thumbs up and the sharing. Looks like I lost, oh, there we go. How hard? Then you need to come find me. That would be cool, Tiff. I really don't think it's that hard. And I really think you could start out with the balloon bouquets that we've done. And I've got plenty of videos on there on how to do those. Like this one is just a box with some snacks in it. And when you see the ornaments marked down after Christmas, buy them for themes throughout the year. Like your pink ones you need for breast cancer awareness. There's baby ones. I've got a bunch of baby ornaments that would have looked cute if it would have went with the theme mixed in. Clear ones or frosted glittered ones for bubbles. Always think. And like at Christmas, Hobby Lobby had a bunch of their black and gold ribbon marked down. That's perfect for graduation. So think ahead, think outside the box, and just pick up a few. But these, I've showed you how to do these. It's just little sticks taped to the back of the snacks and pushed into the styrofoam. This box came from Dollar Tree. This ornament of a deer came from Dollar General. So start out with these and then start working with the balloons. Balloon sticks are your friend. Pool noodles are your friend. And the 260 balloons. And I'm hoping to show you how to make a curly 260 balloon on Wednesday. That would be cool. Add it in. Did I answer everybody's questions? Yes. Oh my gosh, that would be so cute. The donuts in like a coffee basket for somebody that really likes coffee. They would look cute. Yep, there you go. It will be tonight, Marcia. I won't be able to go to sleep. But yes, this is not hard. If you buy the good balloons, you're not going to have them popping on you. They're going to hold up. What took me a while to do was tying them. Like I didn't have the dexterity in my hands that I wish I had, but now I'm kind of used to it. So yes, I mean, I showed you. You just need to twist them. So it's really not hard at all. All right. Is Rachel going live on Tuesday? They are. And I think they're fun to create. And I think with our knowledge of ribbon and florals, there's so many different things we could do with these. The customer even made a beer mug cake. She had pink and white stacked on top, and then she had the outside look like a beer mug with a handle. It was so cute. So yes. Okay, Rachel said no live tomorrow. All right, I will see you all on Wednesday. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for sharing. I really appreciate all the love. All right, have a great night.